Hi, today I'm going to tell you this exciting feature that we've created on our Loconav web platform, which is called routes, trips, and targets. If you do not know what Loconav is a integrated vehicle management system which helps you keep track of the location of your vehicle as well as the expenses that are done on the vehicle and by the driver. You should definitely check out www.loconav.com to know more. Moving on, let me tell you about the routes, trips, and targets feature that we've recently integrated on our platform. Now, what essentially is a route? If you've ever traveled in a bus always follows a route. So imagine there is a bus with route number 101. Now, route basically tells you that the two checkpoints that the bus will travel between. What I mean to say is that if route 101 goes from Delhi to Gurgaon, then the first checkpoint is Delhi and the last checkpoint is Gurgaon. Similarly, while on the way back, the first checkpoint is Gurgaon while the last checkpoint is Delhi. So essentially, if I take a trip from Delhi to Gurgaon, that is I get on Delhi and then go towards Gurgaon and I cover the entire route. This is still a trip with only two stoppages. If I add multiple checkpoints between, that is if I add, say, from Delhi I add Connaught Place as a checkpoint, then from Connaught Place I add RK Puram as a checkpoint, and then after RK Puram I add Ambience Mall as a checkpoint. All these three checkpoints, if I travel between any of these three checkpoints or from the initial checkpoints and the last checkpoint to these three checkpoints, I am actually making a trip. So what it means is that trip is a time dependent and route dependent way of transit, while route essentially is not time dependent, and it basically tells you what is the summation of all the trips that can happen, or it tells you what is the way that I am going to go from A to B. If I decide to drop anywhere between after traveling from A, then which I can of course do, then I've made a trip. If I travel from A to B, even then I've traveled on a trip, but I've covered the entire route. Now let me introduce you to the feature that we've added. If you go inside the advanced tab of our web platform, you can go and create a new route by going to routes, after which you can go and add a new route. I can just go add a new route here. I can write test route 1. In the source section, I can write an existing geofence, or I can give a new location, which could be, if say I write Agra, then it will tell me, okay, this is the route that I'm creating. I can add multiple checkpoints here. Say I can add Noida as a checkpoint. I can also add Mathura as a checkpoint. So then automatically my route adjusts itself because I've added a checkpoint here. After I click on save, it gets added as a new route here, as you can see. Now I can go to my vehicle tab which is present on my main dashboard. After going to vehicle tab, I have two ways of starting a trip. One is automatically, that is these are my current vehicles that are running currently. I can just go and start a trip where I just have to tell what is my existing destination that I want to go to. Say I write Agra. This tells me an ETA. Based on this ETA, I will also get alerts that I am either late for reaching my ETA or approaching my ETA. So, if you want to change this ETA, say you want to take your trip on from a particular point, then you just have to go and then add exactly when are you planning to reach there, because ETA tells you the time that you're about to reach this destination from right now. So if I leave right now for Agra, then this is my ETA, but I can change that. Essentially I can also go in advance and I can put a route on my trip. So I will put my test route here, and then it automatically fetches my checkpoints here, as you can see. Now I can add a target to all these ETAs. Basically what it will do is it will give me a reminder for every time I'm approaching these places, when I've approached them or when I'm either late for approaching these. places. I can just go and create